Good morning. It is Friday, August 30th. It's time for another Around the World vlog. If you have been on my channel for a while, you know that I do this series called Read Around the World vlog series where I read different books from the different countries, and I slowly started not to have these videos. Specifically in the summer I did a whole vlogging series for the month of June, and then July I kind of stopped doing that, but I did mention in my July TBR wanting to pick a country, and so I did. And as a reminder for those who saw, Cambodia was selected. For those who didn't see, Cambodia was selected. And so I already did pick a book, and so I'm just going to remind everyone about the book that I did pick, and that is The Rent Collector by Cameron Wright. It has a 4.26 on Goodreads, and it says, survival for Kim Lee and Sang Lee is a daily battle at Stung Minchi, the largest municipal waste dump in all of Cambodia. They make their living scavenging recyclables from the trash. Life would be hard enough without the worry of their chronically ill child, Nisei, and the added expense of medicines that are not working. Just when things seem worse, Sang Lee learns a secret about the bad-tempered rent collector who comes demanding money, a secret that sets in motion a tide that will change the life of everyone it sweeps past. And it says, the Rent Collector is a story of hope, of one woman's journey to save her son and another woman's chance at redemption. And that part really spoke to me, because I do like a good story with hope, like redemption. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to get started with this. I have it on ebook from my library. So that's what this first part of the vlog is going to be. And then I will pick another country for the second part. That's the hope. And so, like I said, today is Friday, and I actually am going to be subbing at my school today. I should be done though fairly early, so I will have some time to read, but I'll take you along for this weekend. There's not much that we're going to do this weekend, probably lawn mowing. It's going to be a really good reading weekend. Usually when I say that though, something might pop up, but I can't wait to get back and travel the world through books. So you saw the picture of Cambodia on my screen, and Cambodia is an Asian nation, and I thought it would be pretty cool to just list a few facts about Cambodia. According to Google, their national dish is curry, and insects are also widely eaten. I have never tried curry. I actually do not like the smell of curry. So my husband, I think, has tried it. I think he might like it. I'll have to double check with him, but I've never had curry. So I don't know if I'll ever try curry. If you have, let me know. I just don't like the smell. If I can get past it, maybe I'll try it. Okay, it says many Cambodians don't celebrate their birthdays, but instead believe they age another year at Cambodian New Year. So that's interesting. I'm not sure where everybody stands on birthdays, but my family birthdays are really big, and we celebrate sometimes a birthday week with each other. But it's interesting not to celebrate your actual birthday, but maybe it's pretty cool having a huge New Year's party and everybody celebrates their day. I don't know. Cambodia is sometimes called the Kingdom of Wonder, and I think it's because of all the different temple-like structures, and if I have a picture I'll put it there. But apparently there's these big structures there, and they have I think the largest religious temple structure here on earth. Yeah. So it looks like a very beautiful country. I'm very curious about the book. I need to get going for school, and I will check in with you once I've kind of read at least 100 pages in this book. So I am back, and don't mind the shirt change. I am just out of my school wear and more of my comfortable wear. So That's a little bright. Sorry, I'm gonna move you over just a tad. Okay. So I am about 9% in this book, and there's the picture there. I am reading this on ebook, and I actually really am enjoying the writing style of this. It's very descriptive, and it just really does paint a pretty good picture of this garbage dump area. So you follow Sang Lee first, and she wakes up like from a dream where her grandfather, says that this is the day of good luck, and she wakes up from that, and her husband is actually going out to work to collect scrap metal or anything he can sell from the garbage dump. And it talks about how she goes through a day, and her son is like 18 months old, but he's so small, and he is suffering from this illness that he just diarrheas every night, and you don't really know what the disease is. You get pulled in and you really feel for her, but she does have like this almost like an upbeat kind of personality. She kind of has like this is what it is, kind of like, this is our life, but I'm trying not to dwell so much on it. Just taking one day at a time. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from her. So it's kind of hard hitting, but it's not like all doom and gloom, even though it is a heavy situation. So she talks about this woman who is known as the Cow, which that's a crazy nickname, but essentially, I guess, like, she always has like this scowl on her face. I didn't quite catch why she's called the Cow. She does bring in some like mythology from the region there in Cambodia about like the gods or goddesses, because there's a myth that goes around in this poor town, village, place, and the myth is that the rent collector, she is actually the illegitimate child of the sky god, and how the wife of the sky god finds out about his illegitimate child and casts her into this garbage dump town. And like Buddha's mentioned in here as like telling the difference between like the Chinese Buddha versus the Buddha of Cambodia, and how like physically how they're different. So there's like little mentions of that. It's interesting to hear a little bit of that like culture, I guess. And so just letting you know right there off the bat. And right now we kind of hit a few sad points in the story, but I'm very intrigued. I'm in it for the family, the husband, the wife, the child. Like, you feel with them. You get a little bit more of the lifestyle that is in this garbage dump area, that there are like wildfires that sometimes happen, and she kind of goes into the science and the breakdown how that actually happens, but like the decomposition of the garbage kind of can create wildfires, and that was interesting to read about. And it's like, it's bringing up this topic of like poverty and people who live out in places like this, and how they go through their day-to-day and how they survive. And yeah, so you're kind of got this mystery going on with the rent collector. There was a scene in this book where she is going to demand rent from Sang Lee, and she sees this a child book on the ground, and like she starts to grieve and forgets about the money, and she kind of takes the book and walks away with the book. And Sang Lee mentions like, oh, this woman can read, and I'm only on chapter 3 right now, but again, a lot has happened, and I'm just very intrigued with the story. So I'm probably gonna edit first my TBR video, so that way that can get up, and then I'll spend the rest of the time that I do have reading from this book until my husband gets home. And then tonight we're gonna have Thai chicken with sweet and sour meatballs. And I am done rambling, so I will see you guys in another clip. So here are some of the meatballs that we did do, and I will show you hubby in a second. Here's hubby making our meatballs. Did a great job. Has 2 pans going. That one's a little bit, but that's okay. Good job. Alright, y'all, and here's some more in the freezer. There you go. Excuse my messy freezer. Okay, me and hubby are done. Sorry for the shaking camera. I'm gonna do my best to film holding this, but me and hubby are done lawn mowing this lawn that we do every like 2 weeks, and we are now gonna go take down flags with our youth.
Actually, we're putting up flags.
Oh, we're putting up flags.
Putting them up for Monday.
We're gonna put them up for Labor Day, so it's kind of like in conjunction with the Boy Scouts here in our town. So they help put up flags, take down flags, and we help, our church helps with that too. So that's what my husband and I are going to go out to do, and I'll probably hang out with my sisters in a different car, and he's going to go in with the guys and just have a good time. So that's what we're doing, and I will pop back in to tell you a little bit about the book because I am halfway through, but I wanted to check in real quick. So, all right, catch you on the flip side. All right, y'all, one down. A lot more to go. Okay, so I'm in another car, as you can see. So we're still out here putting up flags, and you see all of those in the back. Yeah, they need to be done today. It is currently 2:10. It's pretty hot out here. It's taking a lot longer than we kind of expected, and some of the little holes to find to put the flags in are kind of really deeply in the ground, and finding the little caps are hard. So it is going a little slower, and we broke for lunch, and now we're kind of back at it. So my sister's picking up her son right now, and he'll ride with us the rest of the way. So I have some time to tell you about the book, and I'm going to try to do my best not to move this so much. I am now halfway through the book. I'm about page 111, and I think it's like 200 something pages. And I know I mentioned a little bit about how I really like the atmosphere, or just like the written work itself, like the writing. I feel that I'm transported there in this dump of a city, and it really is sad, but we're coming to a part to where Sang Lee is kind of connecting with the woman who is her rent collector, and it's an interesting way how she's connecting, and I'm excited because it does talk about reading and like the power of words and knowing how to read, and Sang Lee is really wanting to do that because she wants to get out of the dump. She wants a better life for her son, and there are some sweet moments when she's talking with her husband and her desire to learn to read. And it's like, I really love that part because yeah, that's what we read for, because of the power of learning and just being transported through the words that you read from, and just writing is a way to express yourself. And so I am enjoying that part of the book. And you see another side of the rent collector lady, and she has a story, but we don't really know a lot about it yet. And I have my thoughts about it, but we're not there yet. So we are coming to some sad moments in this book, and one in particular, Sang Lee meets a little girl who is having her time of the month for the first time, and she's kind of she doesn't have parents at all, and she only has like her older brother. And so she, is freaking out about it, and her friend is freaking out too, because he's like, this just happened while we were picking trash. And he gets Sang Lee, and he's like, please help her. And when Sang Lee talks to her and basically just tells her that she's now a young woman and something to celebrate. But then you see that this girl is petrified, because her brother is part of a gang there, and he would sell her to a brothel. And now that she's of age, so they want to keep it on the down low. And that's really, really sad. And that's kind of common like in the book about young girls. And we have my nephew and my sisters coming in. Anyways, so I'll probably have to come back a little later to finish up the book, but that's kind of like the part where I finished, and I'll talk a little bit more about it later. It is almost 5 o'clock. We're still not done with the flags, but we're going to do that after church tomorrow. But I think some of the youth are going to come and help out, so that's great. I'm sorry that I got cut off. My sister got in with her child, and my other sister was on the phone, so I just decided not to film until I got back home. So it's a little later than I wanted to, and I can't really remember where I was. I think the part where I was talking about the young girl is hiding because she doesn't want to be forced into a brothel. So she's hiding, and it's just kind of the sad reality of the situation, and that Sang Lee says it's not uncommon to see stuff like that happening. That's where we were. The last thing that I talked about. So there is also talk more about the love of literature, and I'm really enjoying that part. Sang Lee's journey through finding out what literature is. She knows words, sounds, learning to read. She's practicing that every day with her teacher, the rent collector, and the rent collector is now trying to teach her about literature. And there's so many great quotes in there, but I just love how the love of reading and like literature, and how the teacher conveys that it is more than just reading words on a page. It connects you with the story, and how Sang Lee mentions when she's reading, does everything always have a double meaning kind of deal? And her teacher said great literature does. Like, that's what reading literature does. It helps you think more than just the story, but like connecting with it, and how there's deeper truth or deeper meanings to it, and like it'll answer like life's questions even. And it's a pretty remarkable book in that, just how it talks about literature and books and stuff. So I am enjoying that part a lot. We're getting less about Sang Lee's child, but we know that he's still ill. But it's more focused, the story, on her reading. Now that I'm at home, I am going to continue reading, because I do want to finish this book tonight, and then hopefully pull out another slip of paper for my next read. And 2, tonight we're actually gonna have Thai chicken. So yesterday we ate out, and so now we're going to actually eat our Thai chicken and meatballs tonight. So and we might invite my sister over since they're like, I know I'm tired and they're still out there gonna try to put in flags before it gets dark, but I'm sure that they would like a hot meal, so we'll invite them over and kind of treat them with a dinner. So okay, I'll talk to you later. It is puzzle night, so we're doing our Disney puzzle. Show them the picture that we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna do Rapunzel and Flynn. There you go. We're off to a great start. We got some Disney music going. And this is our pieces in my crystal bowl, crystal platter. And those are all the non-edges, and we are currently working on the edges. Oh, husband's hand. With cookies and some tea. A good way to wind down. Good morning. It is September 1st, and we are officially in the month where fall is about to begin. We are having a cold break this morning. It is like 80 degrees, which is fantastic. Here in Texas, it is usually still in the 90s until mid-October, or at least it has been for the past few years. But I have my coffee this morning that says Queen of Everything, and my husband's drinking from his, which is King of Leftovers. I got this as a gift a few Christmases ago. So we're that cheesy couple where we like to have matching mugs and sets and everything. So yeah. Anyway, it is Sunday, so I will be getting ready for church soon, but I wanted to pop in and talk to you about The Rent Collector. I did, in fact, finish it last night, and it was a really good read. I enjoyed the story as a whole, and there was a turn in there that I kind of saw coming, but it was still like unexpected, I guess, at the end, and it's very heartfelt, more sad things in it, and it does give you a little bit of the history of like the revolutions that have happened in Cambodia and what it did to those who were educated, to those who were literate, and how a lot of people lost their lives because of that, so that they can basically like refresh the population to build up I guess a community of illiterate people so that they could just follow blindly, essentially. And that part was very sad to read, but is sadly true in a lot of these countries we see today, or even in the past. Anyway, I don't want to get too focused into that, but it does talk about that, and that is something that I do like a book when it does that, where you sit and you reflect on it, and bonus points when it's something that I also do agree with, like the fact that how education is important, and especially reading, being able to be literate, and this book really does focus on the power of words and literacy and all that. So anyway, I found out that it was inspired by true events. I read a little bit more about the author and found that his son actually did a documentary of one of the characters in the book, Sang Lee, and the writer viewed the documentary of, this waste dump area and of Sang Lee. He was inspired to write some parts of her story. He changed a little things here and there, or added a few things, but for the most part, it was all based off of that story. And I thought that was really interesting. So I did mention earlier that there were some talks like about praying to the ancestors. It didn't get super weird to me. And I know that's part of like the culture. So the mention of the healer, where Sang Lee does go indeed to this man who is known as the healer or like a witch doctor, but that scene, it didn't get too uncomfortable, but there is mention of that. So just want to let you know. And I want to say that though I enjoyed this book a lot, there are some things that I don't agree with. I liked the message overall of what the story was, and I just could not put the book down. I read it in 2 days, and it was an enjoyable 2 days. And I am very curious more in Cameron Wright's writing. I'm really glad that this challenge is helping me discover new authors. So my rating for this book, I'm gonna say that I'm leaning towards a 4, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking about the rating. Okay, I'm a little tired. Sorry, I sound tired. I sound very stuffy. I don't know, allergies. I have no idea. So that was Cambodia. A great time. And let's go ahead and pick another one. I don't know if I'll read this book in 2 days. That's the goal. But yeah, tomorrow's Labor Day. So here in the United States, we get a day off. Or most of us do. Alright, what is this? Okay, now we're in Colombia. Fun. 2 C's. Okay, so Colombia. I am going to search for a book and I will come back and tell you what I found. I'm not on Sunday anymore, guys. So I apologize. I never came back to you after Sunday at church. And sorry, if I keep looking over here, and the camera is like this way. So yeah, sorry. I have to remember to look this way. So yes, the time got away from me. What ended up happening was after church on Sunday, I was just not feeling well at all, and I think a lot of it was a little bit of stress. First off, to find a book, because guys, a book in Colombia that I'm interested in was really hard to find, and 2, the libraries were closed for Labor Day. So I had to wait anyway till Tuesday. So I figured, just kind of take a break on Monday from filming and everything. So yeah, that's why it's Tuesday today. And, you won't be able to tell because you'll just see this clip right after the Sunday's clip. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know about that time jump, I guess. So today, just got back from school. It is a nice rainy day, which I am so happy. We needed this rain. Our grass was dying. Granted, we don't water the grass. Usually we don't have sprinklers, so we have to like actually manually water, and it was just not happening. Anyway, but we have rain, and that's what I was getting at. So today's a great rainy day. I am so happy because I'm going to do a lot of reading this evening. But I'm going to go to the library because I did end up finding a book for Colombia. So I didn't really talk about Colombia, but Colombia is in South America. And the country, unfortunately, is not known for, at least when I was researching, it wasn't known for a lot of good things. There's like a lot of crime. There was a lot of the books I saw dealt with like war and crime and drugs, and some books that I wasn't interested in. And other authors I looked at, I figured their books were just not something that I would enjoy. So I was just having a hard time. And if at any point, guys, if you have recommendations, do let me know. I know that some have sent me like recommendations for other countries that I have on my list, but I'm always looking for more. So I decided for this time around, I'm going to do what I did with Venezuela, and I'm actually going to read a children's book, and I'll put the picture here, but it's called Biblio Buro. And this is about a traveling um, man on a donkey, but he brings library books to all the local villages, and this is inspired by a true story. So I thought that was pretty neat, and I am going to check this one out in Spanish because I have been practicing a lot more with my Spanish. I've been practicing daily. I see my grandmother on Mondays with my sisters, and she is natively Spanish speaking, and so I will practice in the car with her every now and then. So I'm trying to get really serious with this, and I think it'd be great for me to read this book in Spanish. And yeah, that's the plan. That I'm actually gonna go change and then head out to the library right after this clip, and I'll just take you along with me. I try not to do children's books, guys, just because I personally want to challenge myself to find adult fiction, especially like well known to that country. But if I do have a difficult time trying to find a book that I'm interested in and I end up finding like a children's book, then I will do that. And I also try to find it in English, but I figured this one would be a perfect one to try to read in Spanish. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you know that. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead, get changed, and we'll go head out. And then I also wanted to update you on the puzzle that I have been working on, because I have been working very diligently on this puzzle and it's pretty much almost complete. So I will also insert that clip too. All right, I will see you guys in another clip. Okay, so we're home now, and as you can see, I completed that much. So there's Rapunzel and Flynn, there's Pascal, Maximus, and then we're at Lady Gothel and the henchmen, and then these are all the people from the tavern. Yeah. Oh, don't forget the little guards over here. So, yep, I am almost done. Not looking forward to doing all the lights. But first, I'm going to read Biblio Buro by Jeanette Winter. And this is a real history of Colombia. So, inspired by a true story. But here are some of the pictures. For Demetrian Campbell. And yeah, some different of these pictures and art. So I will be working on this right now, and I will come back once I have complete. This should probably take me 30 minutes at most. We'll see. that actually took like 10-15 minutes, honestly. And I'm actually really surprised I understand a great deal of it. The first time I did this challenge with Venezuela, um, it did take me longer because I was barely starting out teaching myself Spanish again. So I had to like stop, look up a couple of words, and then start again and reading. But I found this book went by faster, and that's very encouraging to me because it's showing that that little bit of practice daily, even like with my grandmother and on the app that I'm doing, it is making a difference. So yeah, I feel like in future videos, if I ever do this again with like a Spanish book, I might have to take a couple of them out just to give some recommendations. But I loved this book. It's a great, you know, short book. It is in English, but I went and just did the Spanish one for my practice. So, but I loved reading the little history part at the back about this man named Luis. Um, he did buy 2 donkeys to take books to children in remote places. So, remote places like in the mountains. And this was actually done in 2000, the year 2000. So, he started off with 70 books and ended up with over 4,800. And the book itself just talked about how he just had all these books, and his wife was tired of him keeping their other little house filled with books. And she's like, "What are we going to do with these?" And he had gotten the idea of wanting to share his books with people who were less fortunate. And so he attributes to his love of books from his teacher. And, that always makes me feel good knowing that a teacher could make a difference to, their students, and then their students making a difference to the world. So, love it. Recommend it. It's a children's book. So, yeah, I think that I'm just going to sign off here. So, I'm hoping that you guys are having a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.